Here at allthat'sinteresting.com is a story by Gabe Paletti entitled Annalise Michel and the Shocking Images from the Exorcism of the Real Emily Rose. And Gabe begins. The woman who inspired the horror film became infamous for her tragic fight with demons and her terrifying death. Though many may not know it, the horrifying events of the Exorcism of Emily Rose movie were not entirely fictional, but rather based on the actual experiences of a German girl named Annalise Michel. She grew up devoutly Catholic in Bavaria in the 1960s, where she attended Mass twice a week. When she was 16, she suddenly blacked out at school and began to walk around dazed. Though Annalise did not remember the event, her friends and family said she was in a trance-like state. Annalise Michel as a young child. Years later, she experienced a similar occurrence, where she woke up in a trance. Her body also went through a series of convulsions, causing her body to shake uncontrollably. But what happened next was even more disturbing. After the second time, Annalise visited a neurologist who diagnosed her with temporal lobe epilepsy, a disorder that causes seizures, loss of memory, and visual and auditory hallucinations. Temporal lobe epilepsy can also be called Geschwind syndrome, a disorder marked by hyper-religiosity. After her diagnosis, she began taking medication for her epilepsy and enrolled in the University of Würzburg in 1973. However, the drugs she was given failed to help her, and as the year progressed, her condition began to deteriorate. Though she was still taking her medication, she began to believe she was possessed by a demon and needed to find a solution outside of medicine. She began to see the face of the devil wherever she went and heard demons whispering in her ears. When she heard demons telling her she was damned and she would rot in hell while she was praying, she concluded that the devil must be possessing her. She sought out priests to help her, but all the clergy she approached rejected her requests, saying she should seek medical help, and that they needed a permission of a bishop anyway. Believing she was possessed, she ripped the clothes off her body, compulsively performed up to 400 squats a day, crawled under a table and barked like a dog for 2 days. She also ate spiders and coal, bit the head off a dead bird, and finally she and her mother found a priest, Ernest Alt, who believed in her possession. He stated that she did not look like an epileptic in later court documents. Over the next 10 months, following the bishop's approval of the exorcism, Alt and another priest called Renz conducted 67 exorcisms, lasting up to 4 hours on the young woman. Through these sessions, Annalise revealed she believed she was possessed by 6 demons: Lucifer, Cain, Judas Iscariot, Adolf Hitler, Nero, and Fleischmann, a disgraced priest. All these spirits would jostle for power of Annalise's body and would communicate from her mouth with a low growl. As demons argued with each other, and their leader saying, "People are stupid as pigs. They think it's all over after death," it goes on. And Judas is nothing but a big mouth who had no real say in hell. Throughout these sessions, Annalise would frequently talk about dying to atone for the wayward youth of the day and the apostate priests of the modern church. She broke bones and ripped tendons in her knees from continually kneeling in prayer. Over these 10 months, Annalise was frequently restrained so priests could conduct the exorcism rites. She slowly stopped eating and eventually died of malnutrition and dehydration on July the 1st in the bicentennial year of 1976. She was just 23 years old. After her death, Annalise's story became a national sensation in Germany. After her parents and 2 priests who conducted the exorcism were charged with negligent homicide. They came before the court and even used a recording of the exorcism to try to justify their actions. The two priests were found guilty of manslaughter resulting from negligence and were sentenced to 6 months in jail, which was later suspended, and 3 years of probation. The parents were exempted from any punishment, as they had suffered enough, a criteria for sentencing in German law. Decades after the trial, the famous horror movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose was released in 2005. Loosely based on the story of Annalisa, the movie follows a lawyer, played by Laura Linney, who takes on a negligent homicide case involving a priest who allegedly performed a deadly exorcism on a young woman. Set in America in the modern day, the film was both praised and panned by critics for its depiction of the sensational court case, followed by the death of the character Emily Rose. Although much of the movie focuses on courtroom drama and debate, there are plenty of scary flashbacks that depict the events leading up to Emily Rose's exorcism and her untimely death at the age of 19. Perhaps one of the most memorable scenes from the film is the flashback of Emily Rose screaming the names of all her demons to her priest. While possessed, she shouts out names such as Judas, Cain, and most chillingly Lucifer, the devil in the flesh. While reviews of the movie were decidedly mixed, the film did pick up a couple of awards, including an MTV Movie Award for Best Frightened Performance by Jennifer Carpenter, who played Emily Rose.